here is the Landspeeder 1, and I am just going to go like this and go dash BD for breakdown, not BD armory. We're going to save just in case I save over my craft out of habits. So let's go ahead and show you how I break this thing down. So first we'll go ahead and remove these fins, and if you want to see how it looks, you can play this in reverse. Let's take off these Juno engines, and then you can see here we actually have a lot going on the inside. So let's take a look there. I will take off these connectors, and you can kind of see on the inside I have fuel flowing in very strange ways because I actually use these Oscar B tanks for a mount point for these engines, so they don't have to stick so far out, and they are kind of placed on top of there, and fuel is flowing through everything. Now if I could actually have fuel flow through these structural panels, I wouldn't have had to do that. That would have been great, but I couldn't do that. So let's go ahead and take these off, and we're going to remove these structural panels up front, and you see our batteries are in here snugged onto our front wing. And here you can actually see the inner works of this craft, and you have your single inline stabilizer, you have your Oscar B tank in the front, and in the back here you have three tank setups here. Now the way I did these is I actually slid the entire thing back, and then I mounted the engines to them like so. So I slid these back, mounted the engines, and then I slid everything back in here until the engines lined up just on here, kind of simulating what it would be if we actually had fuel flow through these structural panels. Since we don't have that, which is a slightly bit of a pain, I may have to tweak that myself because I don't like that idea of not having it. So let's go ahead and take this off so you can kind of see the inner works a bit better. We have some additional air intakes here. I did this because I realized that I would need a lot of air intakes, especially for VTOL. And if you don't have a lot of air intakes for what we were doing, and mind you, there are 5 down-facing engines. I had to put 4 in the back because I really wanted to have a lot of lifting power. And you see right now, with all that removed, we are at 2.14 TWR. Now that, once we slap on the other engines, the other fuel tanks, it drops to about 1.24. So you can actually still VTOL really easily. You want to have quite a bit of lift. You want to be over 1 TWR, so that way it's not a very, very slow lift off. If you want that, then you're going to have to work with a really lighter craft. I wanted to have a lot of flight time, so I actually took these. This actually was put up here and slid all the way back, slid forward, so that way I could balance my fuel forward and not have to worry about the lift. The lift was the biggest pain in the butt to figure out with this craft. So let's pull these off, and you'll see how this is actually in here. And this actually was the hardest thing to figure out, was the fuel location. And you see right here, it actually goes there. And there is actually a probe core, a cube probe core in there. And so like I said, all I did was take this in here, and everything just got rotated and slid to the proper location. So that way I can actually have all my fuel facing forward. Now that is great unless you don't like covering up or going through parts. Unfortunately, I kind of started with that probe, so I didn't want to break everything back down to redo it because I don't always trust the reroute tool. It doesn't always work that well for me. It does work, but not always perfectly for me. And here you go. This is the base craft. I can pull this off. I actually have a tank mounted there because I was pushing fuel through there as well. And the body was actually very interesting to build. I actually really enjoyed building the body for this one. This is actually really simple. Most importantly, make sure your wheels are flat. I've had that problem with a few different crafts, and it's easy to do if you mount it directly to these structural panels. This does take the DLC in order to fly, so I do apologize in advance for those that do not have it. Pick up the DLC, it's worth it. And so yeah, this body was actually really easy. It's just a few ticks each time you want to rotate. You do have this Z fighting going on. That is the biggest pain, and what you're left with is a boat. It's a boat. I basically built a boat and then made it fly. Really simple. So I actually really like this craft. Check my time. Yeah, I actually really like this craft, and I wanted to give you a quick breakdown of how it would look once you take everything down and all the parts here. And yeah, once I had the probe core, I just snapped this on the bottom. This is all one interconnected part, and that shows you kind of what we had, what I used to get this craft created. So now you can actually go out there and build your own Landspeeders and have some fun. Maybe we could do a Landspeeder race. I think it flies better with pure, which is what everybody was witnessing before. So let me go ahead and bring out the pure craft and show you how well that one flies in comparison. Alright, so we've changed positions. Hopefully this camera angle is a little better lighting. Alright, so let's go ahead and try out this is the pure version. Now, this was a little difficult to balance because this engine's really overpowered. It's meant for larger crafts. But what we'll do is we'll tone this one down so we have the thrust of, we need about 33 to get this thing off the ground nice and level. So we're going to do a little lift. And we're going to keep toning this down to where about 32, 33-ish. That's going to give us this. We definitely need to turn this on. That's our generator. Now we can turn this down a little bit, and okay, I goofed that. I forgot my action keys. Okay, we're good now. We're good. We're good. I switched modes. That was the non-atmospheric mode I switched to. Significantly less power. Alright, so let's go ahead and balance this thing out. Just make sure we have our thrust right. Good. Turn on our thrust engine. And there we go. So this is the pure version, which lets you actually get a better control on the craft itself, and it flies a lot better in my personal opinion. We're only using one engine compared to 3, so we're not going nearly as fast, but the control we get from this is ridiculous, and it is way more floaty and close to a gravity. Whoops. Okay, let's try that again. Alright, so we need to tone this one down. We're going to tone this one down to about there. Alright, so let's turn on our generator. And we're turning on our first engine here. Our air ionizer. And we'll lift ourselves upwards. On our other engines here. And there you go. We're floating, flying. And so that's the thing that people were asking a lot about when I posted a GIF of this thing floating around. Everybody was asking hacks, what mods? Oh my god, what is this? It's only one mod, it's just pure. And pure electric engines lets me actually do this fairly easily. Compared to having to balance everything out, because the air ionizer is a really OP and very nice little floaty engine design. So once you have that designed fairly well, you should be able to go through and fly this thing like an extremely ridiculously overly stable VTOL. It's really not that bad. So yes, if you like what you're seeing, hit that like button, drop me a comment, let me know what you think, and hopefully you have enjoyed this video and the whole breakdown I did of this craft. Okay, and I hope to catch you guys in the next video. For now, it's your boy Jatois, and I am out of here. Peace. I'm gonna try flying through this thing again. Hold on, I got this. You guys saw in the gift that I did it. That was all one take. It's really not that bad with this one. Hey yo, hey. Yes, I love it. I love it. I was gonna try to shoot through them both in one set, but I don't have it tweaked out just right. So you're gonna have to bear with me as I try to do this. Oh my god! Oh my god! I did it! Oh, thunk. Okay. It almost worked. Almost worked. Almost. Peace.